I don't know the answers.
How so?
Wait for this to steep a bit. But, you know, like it's hard for me. I went with Rio, who's a friend of ours, and she's the kind of a person who, she does every kind of man job you could imagine, driving trucks, construction, everything. And then she does everything that comes her way. And then she has fun. And I said, don't you want a regular job? Don't you want to study something and have a career? And I didn't understand that anybody can live without having a career, without having a role.
Right.
That you create yourself because you're studying somebody else's ideas. But now I realize that you don't need that. You don't have to just go to university. You can create your own.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to have information.
Yes.
So you have to get it somewhere. If you don't get it from books, you have to get it from people. Hey, remember that. I like that.
Yeah, and that's what I found.
That's it. If you don't get it from books, you'll get it from people. So if you can get it directly from people without having to go and to pay for it, maybe you got a message there. Maybe that's your message.
Yeah.
Get the information from the source rather than from books, from people. Get the spoken word. That's what the spoken word came before the written word. To get the spoken word rather than the written word, and see whether you can use it. I think that would be good.
Oral history,
Yeah.
and just how much I consider myself going to the school of life, and
Yeah.
I'm not in school right now. But I am in school because I learn every day, and I learn.
You can still go back and get a degree if you want to.
If I want to, I can.
Yeah.
And that option is always there. Although it's not of interest to me because I found when I was in school I wasn't learning and I wasn't happy, and I felt all this pressure to get all this work done that I felt was very unimportant, and I felt wasn't challenging me, and I felt wasn't the direction that I wanted to go. It was forced learning. And I wanted to learn and explore in many other facets. And I found that my mind immediately opened the second I was out of school. And as I was out of school, I realized how blocked I had been for so long. And I realized that what I wanted to do and what I felt my calling was to have an alternative system for many kids like me, because there are so many kids, and there are so many incredibly intelligent, psychic kids that are just so bored in class. Their attention span is not there. They're labeled as ADHD. They're labeled as ADD. They're put on pills, and they're put in this class for disabilities because they can't concentrate. But the reality is they know it, and they just want to be outside and playing and interacting with nature. But they're not given that opportunity. They're in the class for 8 hours a day going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can't I do that on my own? Can't we go out and count flowers? Can't we go out and have a more interactive study?
That was the old way. That was the old way. So, but you have to create the structure where you use the old way, but you bring it into the modern age.
And you have a transition period.
You have to have that.
Yeah.
Well, you have it now. That's what you're with. That's what you're doing now. You're in the transition period, and if you can get it on TV, but you have to have it, and you have to have a very tricky name, something that will. Somebody has to buy it. No. No.
Well, I think its time has come, and Dream Space as a name.
What?
Dream Space.
Yeah.
It's a very catchy, and there's another name, Free School.
Dream Space on Earth. You have to put something. Dream Space on Earth. You have to put that in.
Nice.
Otherwise, people think you're just dreaming. You gotta get it down here.